Hi, welcome to MarQetFlow. I'm gonna do a quick analysis on the market. Let's start with Bitcoin right here. Bitcoin continued to correct. Right now, my target support is 42, maybe a little bit lower than that. This is the top of a previous wave, and that makes sense to find support right here. However, this looks like it has completed an ABC correction. If this support right here does not hold, then the next one will be somewhere around 36,900. Oil looks like it wants to break out, and it's getting very close to it. As you can see it right here, the high is 66. Right now it's at 65, and there still has positive momentum. We have to follow up with that to see what it does later on. With the SPY, it's currently doing a backtest of this support right here. As long as it holds it, things can look good for the market. And then target will be around 4,300. If it doesn't, then I think it's going to come down a little bit lower. We can still break to the upside, and I can show you that because it hasn't closed below these heights right here. It has to close below these ones to confirm that there is going to be more downside. But tomorrow we can find a pretty good bounce from this level right here. The 1 hour chart, the 1 hour looks very oversold. Well, not so much, but some. But there's still momentum to the upside. Let's look at the Nasdaq and see what it's looking. And I'm gonna, like I said on the weekly video, I was expecting it to come down from this level. It got rejected from the 50 moving average. It still has negative momentum. This is a little bit more bearish than the SPY. It might have another leg down. So let's do this right here. You can see how it's making lower highs. It got rejected from the 50 moving average, and I mean, it may pull down the Nasdaq down. We have to see. This looks like a somewhat of a support right here. It has found support in the past, so we'll see what happens at that level in the market. The US Treasury yield is still bouncing from the 50 moving average. Look at this. It has hold right here. The support, it came back tested this downtrend, and then came right away above the 50 moving average. That is a bull signal for the Treasury yield, which is a bad signal for the high growth stocks. With the dollar, this is what helped the market the most. There was a really impulsive red candle all the way to this support right here, and like I said in the weekly video, this is a part where the dollar can find support, and if it does, it's going to cause pain on the market. But if it breaks impulsively, then we're going to have another rally on the market. So silver is trading in this range right here. It looks like it did a double top a few months ago. It did one leg to the upside, came back, did a higher low. That's a good signal, and then right now it's looking to break out. If it does break out with the dollar, I mean, this is probably giving you an impression of maybe what the dollar is going to do. So if the dollar keeps breaking down, then the silver can break all the way to 32, and then maybe keep going all the way to 34. And for gold, it is a little bit more obvious. We had this downtrend right here for several weeks, got out of it, back tested the 20 moving average. It looks very positive, and it's making higher highs right now, even though it may seem like a little bit oversold here, like it did right here and maybe down here. I mean, it can keep moving in oversold territory quite a bit. True, but this is it for the market review. I'm gonna go over a few other stocks and see what the market looks for them. So let's start with Apple right here. It tried to reverse and then it quickly came down. This could just be a back test before it starts making another late high. However, this rejection looks like it has been rejected here before, and then it came down to this level. So we're still making lower lows and higher lows. So if it reverses from here, that will be a bull sign. AMC is trying to break out, but it's having a little bit of hard time. As soon as it breaks out, which you'll see a big candle like this, that is going to be a confirmation, and then the next target is going to be $20. Let's go to AMD. AMD, it's trying to reverse. It's having a little bit of hard time. Not as a strong bounce as other stocks. As you can see, if I go into the 1 hour chart, you can see that it's generating positive momentum, but it's not moving very much. You see this in the past when it was creating this momentum, it was moving a little bit higher. So I don't know if there is much power in that move. Let's look at it right here. It's still trading below support. Okay, so a lot of these stocks are stuck right here between support or previous resistance. So as they have a lot of work to do, they have to come up, go above all moving averages, go above the downtrend, and then that will be a bull signal. Further notice, Baba, it is trying to come back right here. It has, I mean, it can come back all the way to 224, 222, and it's going to still be in a downtrend, because that will be just testing previous resistance right there, 222. So as long as it has to close above 222 and then it starts moving above the downtrend to start looking good. But yeah, I mean, it can continue shopping for days. It's not beyond me. I'm surprised it didn't move as much as other stocks did. It kind of stays here, not a very strong bounce. I was expecting it at least to get to 114. I think there's a lot of bears in this stock. If I look at the 1 hour chart, you can see that there is positive momentum right here, and I would have expected to continue making higher highs. So Clover right here in the 1 hour is still going in this downtrend right here. It is very oversold. It can do a reversal anytime soon. I was surprised that with good earnings and with the market and many of these oversold stocks bouncing quite a bit, Clover didn't do that, and I think right now it's now closing below what it used to be support, $7. And if it comes down, it's probably gonna hit 630. I mean, there's a few things to talk about Clover. It's very heavily shorter. I'm still long on it, and I think that this company can do good, but right now it is in a downtrend, and unless it breaks this downtrend, starts making higher highs, things are gonna still not looking very well. Crisp, now different from the other stocks that we were looking that didn't bounce, this one did bounce, and then it had this double bottom right here. This looks a little bit more bullish. Again, we don't know how long these bounces can last, but the momentum was really good. I can see this momentum getting exhausted by the time it hits a 20 moving average. So you can see that right there. With DraftKings, it continues to be very oversold. I'm not exactly sure how much is going to bounce. You have to know that these bounces are because the stock is very oversold, and you would imagine that these levels would have done a higher bounce, but it doesn't look very impulsive. It looks more like this right here. You see a very good candle, backtest, indecision, and then it's probably gonna lose momentum. We'll see. Again, it looks very oversold. I can expect it to come a little bit higher, but then when I look at it in the 1 hour chart, yeah, there's still some momentum there. Not very strong. I would expect it to have a higher move already. Fisker, this is a stock that I bought about 10.50. That was my average price, and I just thought it was very oversold, and it was probably a good opportunity to get in. Yeah, I thought it was very oversold, and it was probably a good opportunity to get in at this point. So if I look at it, okay, so Fisker, I think this is, I thought myself that this was a good stock to buy. It had a pretty good move down here. I thought I was gonna miss it. Then it came down. I got in right here. I think I averaged about 10.50. Came down, it starts making these impulsive moves. This is exactly what I wanted to see in a stock when it's reversing, because I can measure when it's going to be the next target, and you can see that right there. 1260 was going to be a place where he has hard time, but as well he can continue moving higher than that. So I can expect it to retrace a little bit. It's not out of the woods. It's closing below the 20 moving average, and then it closed below previous resistance. So let's see what happens with that one. With FUBO, FUBO is doing very good right now. It's still holding this uptrend right here, and if we look at it closer, as long as he holds this uptrend, I think everything is fine. Starting to look a little bit oversold, at least for this first impulsive move in the 1 hour chart, so it could have a little bit of retracement. So yeah, net, I think net, it's running into a risk right now, and it's running into resistance. You can see this trend line right here was our up trend line, so it bounced from support and is back testing 50 moving average. Today it got rejected. That's not a really good signal for net. But look at it in the 1 hour chart. You can see right here that it's almost looking like a double top. It's still trading on this range right here, and it has used a lot of the momentum, and it couldn't break above the 50 moving average. It can come down all the way to 67, and then if it breaks that, the target will be 54 for that one. Neo, yeah, let's talk about Neo. So I know he had a pretty strong bounce, and he almost starts looking like a reversal. To me, it looks like it can do a back test of any of these moving average, but as long as it stays below those moving average, it may not be. So yeah, support is right here, 35. So you see this right here, it came down, back tested support, came down again. It's trying to reverse, it's in the process, but unless it closes above 35 and all moving averages, this stock's still in a downtrend right now. Palantir is currently back testing previous support, and it starts to get pretty good momentum. It still has to close above it, above all these trend lines right here, and then that will be a good signal for the bulls that things are gonna start changing in the trend. Again, it can consolidate it for some time, but I think the hard time right now, it's over. This W looks very good right now. Let's see what happens later. As far as momentum goes, well, there's a few things to notice. One is, like, every time it hit this line, It made another leg to the downside, as you can see with Palantir. It is currently at support. It is below the 20 moving average right there. So yeah, I mean, there is a lot of bears that would like to take this stock down, and I'm not gonna be afraid if they can take advantage anytime. To do that, it still has a lot of work to be able to look to look bullish. I think out of many of the stocks that have been oversold, this one is the one that looks more bullish. It broke the downtrend. It's closing above the 50 moving average, and as well in the 20 moving average. This stock looks pretty good, to be honest. Right here, look how it broke the downtrend, and now it's having positive momentum. It can still come back test 18. That will be a good entry. Your risk to reward will be good right there. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.
Prices don't tell me anything about a business. Business figures themselves tell me something about a business, but the price of a stock doesn't tell me anything about a business. I would rather value a stock or a business first and not even know the price, so that I'm not influenced by the price in establishing my valuation, and then look at the price later to see whether it's way out of line with what my value is.